Croeso nôl, welcome back to Fearless in Devotion, the Wrexham AFC podcast, sponsored by the Fat Boar, as we all know. On Good Friday, the Reds looked down and out from the automatic promotion race after a 1-1 draw with struggling Bristol Rovers. But on Easter Monday, a Rob McElhenney-inspired Wrexham bounced back.
They have risen. That was the analogy you should have gone for. Come on.
I was going for the partridge slash Jesus. I was going to build into
Okay.
Jesus.
How are you? Sorry.
Wrexham rose again with a magnificent victory away at Blackpool in accordance with the scriptures. And more significantly, promotion rivals Wycombe Wanderers were trounced by Charlton Athletic, leaving Wrexham in pole position for second automatic promotion spot to the Championship. Andy, just 6 months after you said Wycombe were going to run out of steam halfway through the season, it's finally happened. We should call you Nostradamus.
Shit, Nostradamus.
I've seen them a few times, and I didn't think they were great shakes anytime I've seen them, especially against us. I thought they would run out of steam. Right, they put together a lot of impressive 1-0 wins.
I'm not having a
2-0,
go.
one's even a 2-0 win. So, yeah, they did well. We did well for those 3 games, but they came unstuck. And, I said that I didn't think they'd go all the way. I still think Charlton have got more chance.
You can see Andy being Mike.
Beating us.
You can see Andy being Mike Dodds. Mike Dodds is like school cheat. He said, yeah, "You've done well. You've run out of steam. C-. Out. Get lost."
He doesn't like these steam analogies. Full steam ahead.
Oh, dear me.
Sorry, that was fun. What a win and what a difference a few days can make. Isn't that the classic example, Tim, of when you've had a very disappointing result, wait and see how the next game goes before you panic?
Oh, it's that snapshot. If you want to take a snapshot of overreaction and down in the dumps to elation and we're going to win everything, that's the one right there. Chalk and cheese, light years apart. It was the end of the world on Friday, and it was kind of like semi-justified just because of the performance and the way it kind of favoured Wycombe that day and so on. And that performance almost certainly made Monday's reaction the way it was. It was just like, night and day. It was so good yesterday. One for the ages, definitely up there. And suddenly Friday's quickly forgotten. But that's the gamut of emotions you go through as a football fan, and I don't think we'd have it any other way, to be honest.
Yeah, they looked bang up for it on Monday, didn't they, Liam? The reactions to the goal, McLean's and Rathbone's, they were pretty happy.
Yeah, I was feeling. I mean, we were all really peed off after Friday, and I just had not like a premonition, but you just get a feeling like I was with a Bristol Rovers fan before the match, and he was like, "Oh yeah, don't worry about this. We've lost the last 6 on the bounce." I was like, "Oh great, you've said it now. You've said it. So what's going to happen is going to happen." But then Sunday, I'd calmed down a bit. This is in an Alan Partridge style. I drove to Prestatyn Beach after the Bristol Rovers game,
naked,
to just to relax myself. And then I was feeling quite calm about Monday, and lo and behold, it just completely night and day. All the things that we've asked for. Parky was mentioning about taking the handbrake off, and I was sort of debating in my head, well, who's got the handbrake on here? Is it the players or is it you? Whoever it was, they took it off on Monday, and we could have been 2-0 up potentially at half time. James McLean had that decent chance. Their keeper pulled off a few decent saves, and they just continued second half. Didn't change. Went in goalless. Didn't change their mindset. Just kept ploughing ahead. And I was debating this the other day. Has it? I mean, it obviously looks like he has now because it's come off. But has Parky managed James McLean quite well there, in that he had a bit of a undercooked performance against Wigan, wasn't it, the week before? Doesn't start him against Bristol Rovers, and okay, you could make an argument there about the fact that Barney didn't really have the best game, but then when McLean came on the pitch in the second half, he looked like a man possessed, and if we had got a second goal, I think he would have been heavily involved in it. And then he just continued that into Monday, looks refreshed. So you could argue that Parky's managed the players really well there.
Andy, you've been a frequent critic of James McLean all season, really. So I can't help myself.
I cannot say anything ever on this pod without you bringing it up and saying, you've always said Wickham was shit.
Andy's got a
You've
tattoo on his
always
arse
said
that
James
says,
McLean shit.
yeah, Andy's tattoo in his arse says, "Do not free dairy." That's how
I know
much he doesn't like
what
you.
I know what Parky did. He put James McLean in the dressing room on his own and played replays of this podcast. It was just clips of Andy Gilpin talking about him.
Actually,
Andy, I'm gonna back you up a little bit here. I went back to listen to try and find you saying that Wickham were going to run out of steam from like December. And all I could find was me saying that we wouldn't get promoted automatically. So I'm saving that one for the meltdown next week in case it all goes tits up. So I say we all say crazy stuff on this, but more to the point, James McLean was great, wasn't he, Andy?
Yeah, he was. He was great. Look, I think the whole thing was Blackpool had a high line and they came to beat us, and that plays into our hands. We are that team who reacts well to that when we've got space in behind to go and exploit, which Jimmy did really, really well. I thought it was one of his best games. And it's one of those games where you really wanted the experienced players to come to the fore. And he did. Dan Scarr did. I thought he was excellent. I thought Rodriguez had a good game. Now, we could do a 50-minute pod on Rodriguez, on reactions to him, on is he good or isn't he good. The key thing is he plays, we don't lose, right? That's key. What it does mean is he's so deep that sometimes he's like an extra midfielder, and he's quite good at linking that play together. But it does, that means that Smith is quite isolated sometimes, and maybe that's not pleasurable on the eye to see one striker go up and try and challenge the centre half. Maybe you want both of your strikers occupying them, but it would really work for McLean. It would really work for Rodriguez if we had midfielders that really broke the lines. Now, the likes of Andy Cannon, who could bomb on and actually join Smith, and then Rodriguez could find him. At the moment, we don't have that midfielder. Rathbone did his best to do it in the absence of Cannon, but he's finding it hard. And let's be honest, Elliot Lee isn't having a vintage season, and for whatever reason that is, it's a shame because he's been one of our best players. But let's be honest, he's not been great this season. So I think that's where we've really sort of suffered with the Rodriguez conundrum, because I can see a very good, smart player there, and you could tell he was so calm in the box where he passed it off to Rathbone. Rathbone looked a different player, by the way, once he scored that goal. Thought he was a bit wild before that. I thought his passing meter was off a little bit, but after that, he was spot on. He was the Rathbone we know and love. And so it just shows that if teams give us a bit of a chance, then we can exploit it. And the good thing for us on Charlton on Saturday is they have to win. So they can't shut up shop and have a deep line and say break us down. They have to go at us, and that's why I think it will be a ding dong in the Notts County realm of matches.
Oh, that's a tantalizing prospect.
You can shove that down my face next week when we lose, can't you?
Oh, yeah, with pleasure. It is also James McLean's birthday yesterday when the podcast goes out, maybe. So 22nd of April. Happy birthday to him, Tim, from all the podcasters.
Yes. Yes,
even
scored
me.
for the
even Andy, his biggest critic.
Scored for the late great
critic.
Pope.
I think he's done all right this season. I think he's done better this season than he did last season.
Stop laying traps, Reese. Stop laying traps.
You know I'll react.
Will he bite again? Yes. Anyway, yeah, I thought it was his best game for us. Full stop. I think he's probably got a point in terms of what Liam said about him being managed that way. You know, take him out of the firing line for a bit, freshen him up, because he has played a lot of football this season. You know, I know he's fit as a butcher's dog, but you can become jaded over the course of a very, very, very long full throttle season. So I thought he was great, but the pass from George Dobson is unbelievable. That for me, it's now a toss up. Like, if there's such a thing as pass of the season, it's between Matty James at Bristol Rovers and that, and it's probably George Dobson, because it's almost like a no look hit. Like he's just it's like
first touch as well, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's a bobbling ball.
It's like a golfing shot. He hits it, and it starts left and curves out to the right. It's
Gerrard
so
at his
good.
best, that's Gerrard at his best.
It was brilliant. It was, and everybody like that. I put a clip up earlier of a Blackpool vlog, and when you can just see it when he hits it, everybody in the ground, not just Wrexham fans, everybody's like, oh, and there's like the ripple of applause. You just appreciate a good touch like that. It was ridiculous, but yeah, what a pass, what a goal. I'm not sure he meant it. I think Smith tried to claim it. I watched it back, but I think if Smith gets a touch, probably gets ruled out.
You know what? Oh, I don't know, because Morel straight away on commentary, because watch the extended highlights, gives it to Smith straight away. Now, I thought if anyone would know
It's not
who
him.
that was.
It's not. I've looked. I've slowed it down. He doesn't remotely get a touch.
Okay, all right.
It's
Well,
close.
He was claiming it, and I
It's
like
close. Yeah. Well, it's quite funny because he goes and celebrates one direction. James McLean's already like steaming towards the away fans, and he did get a lot of stick, Macca, yesterday. So it's great to. Yeah, he got
Right.
loads. Got loads of stick.
That's surprising.
There's a certain pub in Blackpool. What was it called? It might be called the Arnfield.
Jimmy
And
Armfield, yeah.
it had all the
boy.
sort of Rangersy link flags hanging outside. Proper kind of gammon vibe to it for sure. Felt a bit unsafe and all.
Back to I mentioned in the opening intro that it was a Rob McElhenney inspired Wrexham because he was in the away end, which I think is the first time that's happened, isn't it, Andy?
Yeah, you can't really say that Maidenhead was the away end because that was just an end. It was just wherever they could sit. Yeah, first time in the away end. I think Eric Hallen was in there as well. So I think it was a good one to go into. I think he enjoyed it. He was there with Brian Swarberg, I saw. I wonder if he you know what it is about Wrexham and seating. You sit where you want. I wonder if he identified a couple of seats.
That was something someone asked me. They were like, "Did he get to sit in his own seat?"
Basically, the reason he took up the position he did is that just before half time went, he was allowed to sort of bank right with his security guard, then go for a comfort break in the part of the stand that we didn't have access to.
So
obviously
been prearranged.
So they only give us like half a stand, didn't they? Stupidly, we would have filled that 4 times over if given the chance. So he's allowed to go down to the right and probably had like a little sort of kiosky bit to himself, which is great. But he came back in and just got involved, and he wasn't ironically massively pestered in the same vein as Mullin was at Wigan. Yeah, it was good. I think people respect that, and I think he knows that as well because they want him to see that game and witness the atmosphere, witness what it's all about. So to be peppering him all the time, would have
That's good to hear.
Yeah, that was really good.
The more they do that, the less it will happen as well. Hopefully he's got a taste for it because.
Yeah. But I'm just going to say, what an away end! That's a brilliant atmosphere where you have one of those matches that's seismic. Absolutely feels like one of those games that's going to define the season. And when it happened right in front of us. It was James McLean who'd been taking dogs abuse. Everything came together to make that one of the best sort of celebrations. Now, we talk about Rob and his journey with soccer or football or whatever. Now, when he's watching American sports, it's score, 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 score. When you have the unadulterated joy of a goal in the away end with your mates, there is no better 30 seconds you'll have that month. Probably, there's some that rank in my life. That 30 seconds of unadulterated joy because it's so hard to score a goal.
Did he fall down some steps?
Jumping up and down on Blackpool's lovely padded seats was great. Definitely helped an extra spring.
I didn't sit on that seat once.
No, but I stood on it, sort of. Yeah, I stood on it.
Especially when the last away game was Wigan, right? I bet that was even better.
Just a quick one on Eric Allen. I had a quick chat with him, and he predicted a 3-1, so he wasn't far off it. Eric Allen has never seen Wrexham lose yet in all the games he's been to. I think his record when I was speaking to him was he'd seen us win 3 times, he's seen us draw 3 times. So make that 4 and 3 now. Lovely guy, really humble. He's just kind of like, I don't want to sort of be too in the face early doors with anything and everything because I'm a minority shareholder. I haven't been here long, and he's just like a regular dude.
Were you like
regular circumstances? Yeah. He went on there.
I saw him playing pool with them. There's a great video of him playing killer with them.
Did
But
you?
this is what he's doing, is integrating themselves now, same as what the owners have done. It's the only way to earn people's trust is to be there front and center.
Did you go up to him like Jed Malin Partridge? Did you show him your
Are
chest?
you Eric Allen?
Yeah.
I love
quite.
you.
I went to speak to Wayne because Wayne was looking stressed as hell as half time. And so I had a chat with him, and then like what Wayne does, especially when he's got somebody in tow, he's like, "Have you met Eric?" And he's just there. It's like, "Oh, no, I haven't. Hello."
But here's
But
my
yeah,
chest
we
tattoo
love
of you.
Yeah.
If Rob, McElhenney, and Eric Allen are still in the area on Thursday night this week, are there any events going on that they could go along to, Andrew, that you know of?
Oh, I think Rob Ryan Red are doing an event. No, yeah, Fearless in Devotion Live. Fearless in Devotion 7, I think.
Is it 7?
What?
7?
Yeah, I know.
What?
Does that include the London one? Yeah.
No, I don't think it does.
Is
So
it 7?
guests confirmed. Mia Roberts and Andy Morell will be taking us through the comms team and their hopes for this season. And they've both been promoted, so they can shine a nice light on what it takes to be promoted. Then we go Glenn Little. Basically, we put our feet up because Glenn just interviews himself for well, however long we let him.
It's a funny heart, that, Liam. I wouldn't say that's a heart. I'd say
I
that's
can't.
something
Well,
very different.
I live in New Broughton, so I don't know how many digits I've got. So yeah.
And then finally, the coup de grace is Sean Harvey's going to come and answer some questions for us, and that'll be fun with a lot of topic areas we can ask Sean about. And if there's anything you'd like us to put to Sean, maybe drop a question in the comments below, and we'll see what we can.
We've had loads already, including an absolute booter of a question. Did you dislike Fleur Robinson as much as everybody else?
Oh, bloody hell. Okay, we probably won't have that one.
It's a loaded one, that.
Yeah. Well, I like the one, what's your favourite pot noodle, and would you eat it with toast or bread and butter?
Bread and butter, without doubt.
Speaking of fan engagement, but yes, sorry, before I move on to that, yes, Fearless in Devotion Live Thursday night. Everyone's very excited, aren't they, Tim? It's sold out, isn't it?
Yeah, it sold out super quick from the last one, which is just crazy. So we kind of give the people that have been sporting it first dibs, and they have. But there are a couple of tickets coming up, so keep your eyes peeled on.
Yeah, I've got 2
extra
spare,
stuff.
actually. I've got 2 spare, so if anyone wants one, just tweet me, and there's 2 knocking about. Can I just mention the newsletter? This newsletter has changed lives for the better.
It has.
For the better.
Yeah.
I see that QR code in my sleep, you know.
It's embedded onto your eyelids.
Scan me.
Well, what I would say is the introductory offer is ending soon. So if you want to pick this up for £15 for your first 12 months, please do it now. There's lots in there. Me and Tim pour our heart and soul into it, and there's lots of other guests who do a lot as well. This week's fan of the week is Norwegian Red Thomas Rinnan, and that's quite a good read. So yeah, please get that. And Tim, would you mind putting the actual clickable link in the description as well, please?
Is it going to
last time?
Is there actually going to be no more introductory offer after this, or is it going to be like DFS? Just a sale every week.
I mean, if you went to DFS and you weren't in a sale, you were pretty much screwed, weren't you? I don't know. I mean, it's 40 quid without the introductory offer, which I still think is pretty good for 3,000 words every week piped into your inbox. But well, maybe we might think about another introductory offer. But yeah.
Or maybe you could include some pictures of yourself as part of the newsletter as an extra incentive.
Here's a picture of Andy in DFS next to a chaise longue.
Yeah, on a chaise longue. I think Grok can do some amazing.
A chaise longue.
On chaise longue. So that's a different thing entirely. There we are.
Yeah, fantastic. Great. Yeah, please do sign up to the newsletter. It is fantastic. Andy and Tim work very hard on it, and any sign-ups are appreciated. Let's move on to talk about Saturday, because it's just a massive game now. I mean, it was obviously always going to be big, and it's gone from all of a sudden everything was doom and gloom just 2 days ago, and we could have been missing out, and we could seal it on Saturday. 3 points could do it if Wycombe fail to win. Tim, are you confident Andy has said it's going to be a game a la Notts County 2 years ago.
Oh yeah, I mean that entire day, it's just blockbuster. I know people talk of Super Saturday or Super Sunday, wherever it's been, but you got the Wycombe Leighton Orient game, so much to play for on from both sides there, and then depending on what happens, we know what we got to do. I'm not sure if that works in our favour or not. I don't know how I feel about it, but you got to be excited about it. Massive game. We should have beat Charlton down there. And people are saying, oh, yeah, they're a different animal. Yes, they've come really good. They've come really strong. We've been saying it for weeks. But you have to go into Saturday with a lot of confidence after the performance of Blackpool. You have to. I just don't. They'll review that video and go, look at what you are capable of. Look, I know Andy's mentioned about the high line, this, that, and the other, but Charlton are going to have to go for it as well. They're still in with a shout of going for second, so I think he's right. It is going to be a humdinger. I think there's going to be some right magical moments in it. Yeah, I've got it. Imagine sealing it again on your own home turf. 3 in a row at the racecourse is bonkers. And I know Humphrey Carr said on BBC News earlier today that he'd be delighted for a party to be happening in town, even though he wouldn't be able to drink because he's got the Manchester Marathon next day. Go and sponsor him. You haven't done so already. But I just feel like it's all set up for it to happen. I just do. I just do. And you got Nathan Jones banging on about, oh, we've got to go to the circus.
Yeah.
So whatever, Nathan Jones, he is a very Marmite manager. You ever love him, you hate him. And we'll see what happens. It's going to be a very interesting matchup. It's going to be a cracking game. Everybody just needs to make as much noise, as racket as possible. There's a march going on from the Wrexham Lad Club before the game at 4:10, I'm led to believe. So that will add to an extra spice to everything. But yeah, I think it's happening.
Andy, as Tim mentioned there, Charlton have to win, don't they? So they're going to be coming for 3 points, absolutely without a doubt. Will that play in our favour, do you think?
Yeah, I think it will, definitely, because I think we're a better reactionary team than the team that really has to force it. Look at that against Blackpool. Blackpool come on to us, we come on to them better. But we need that sort of yin and yang. We need that push for us to play our game and how Parky has us set up. Now, if you think about it, all through this season, no one expected us to be where we are. So Parky has set us up in a very specific way to pick up points at most parts of the season. And we've done that. We averaged the 2 points a game because Parky's got us playing like that. The problems we have is trying to break down a very stubborn team, especially at home. That's where we sort of struggle a little bit. And so Charlton aren't going to play like that. They're going to come at us. They know they need to win. My fear is that I think if Wycombe draw or lose, then it's a very clear and simple game for us. Go out and win it. My fear is Wycombe win, and that puts a bit of doubt in our mind. Do we stick or do we twist? And is a draw good enough? And that's my sort of fear. But Wycombe don't do what they have to do. I'm happier because I think it becomes extremely easy for our game. Not as a game, sorry, but easier in our game plan of what we need to do.
Liam, you look stressed already, mate. Or is it just your webcam?
Probably just my webcam. No, I haven't really got any strong thoughts on how we're going to do one way or the other. I can potentially see it going down to the final game, which would be bloody horrible. But I think after Monday's performance, I think if our season had petered out, we'll end up potentially in the playoffs. But if it had petered out with that Bristol Rovers result hanging in the back of our minds, I think people would have been a lot less happy. Now we've got that result against Blackpool, I think I can enjoy Saturday a bit more. I feel like, going into it, it's not all negativity and doom and gloom. So yeah, I think just look forward to, I think Humphrey Carr said this, just enjoy it as a spectacle and don't be worrying too much about what the outcome is, and just, get behind the lads as loudly as you can, because how lucky are we to be having occasions like this so frequently? I can remember seasons in a row where there was nothing to really play for one way or the other. So to be playing these matches against teams in League One, back where I started supporting Wrexham, I'm just going to enjoy it. I don't know how it's going to go, but let's enjoy it.
Parky's right in his post match. Put everything to one side. You don't like Parky, fair enough. You don't like Rodriguez, fair enough. You don't rate Dan Scar as a centre half, doesn't matter. You think Okonkwo doesn't kick it out quick enough, doesn't matter.
Do you hate James McLean?
Who does? Who would do that? He's been
It
excellent.
doesn't matter. I'm going with Andy's mantra. It doesn't matter.
Just
get that song going.
95 plus minutes, however long it takes, get behind every single one of them and give it your all. Let's have a cracking atmosphere there. It's 5:30. We'll be well oiled. I'll probably be in the mice grin to watch the Wickham game. Let's get well oiled and let's get into them and let's just have a cracking atmosphere. And on that note, we're bringing in our Charlton spokesman.
Gavin, spokesman
Have you ever
for
been called a
Charlton.
Charlton spokesman before, Gavin?
No, but I like it.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'm elected, of course, but I do my best. How are you, chaps?
I'm all right. We're all right. We're just having a rallying cry for you lot. So obviously Nathan Jones has thrown down the gauntlet, calling us a circus.
I knew that was going to be your opening.
So we thought, right, well, what can we do to get our fans up for it? I suppose my first question to you is, right, at the Valley, I thought we were much the better team. I thought you were lucky to get a draw. And I looked at you and didn't see a particularly joined up side. So in the last few months, what's changed?
Yeah, good question. I don't really know. I mean, we pinpoint it back to the Crawley game at home, where it was absolutely abysmal. It was like it was a low. We'd got outplayed, played off the park at home to Crawley, and it was back to the bad old days of Adkins and Garner and Appleton, and it was like, well, we're no better. We thought we'd got our man in Nathan Jones, but this is atrocious. And I trudged home, and I didn't really know where we went from there. Lots of fans had turned by that point, wanted Jones out. I wasn't one of them because I thought, who do you get? I think we had to stick with him. And then out of nowhere, we beat Northampton 5-0 at Northampton. Nobody was expecting that because we were going into games not expecting anything. It was that bad. So in answer to your question, where's it all gone right? I think it's just clicked. I think he took a while to find his best team. I mean, he paid, or reportedly paid, well, we reportedly paid $1 million for Ghassan Ahadmi, and we had high hopes, and he's just been a big flop. I was desperate, as lots of people were, for it to work, but it hasn't. And I think it took a while for Jones maybe to admit that. And so he's not really been in the side. I think he's gone back to basics and made us, really strong defensively. He's stuck with a few players at the back that were becoming boo boys, but he was quite adamant, and they've come good. He's just got us well drilled, organised. I think when we've gone ahead in a game, we've never lost. If we get our noses in front, you fancy us. But in the last 2, 3, 4 seasons, that would not have been the case. It'd been like, yeah, we've scored, but the other team will score in a minute. But that's not the case now. We're very, very strong at the back. We've a club record equaling 20 clean sheets this season, which is promotion form. And unfortunately, Andy, we've run out of games just as we're becoming invincible. We've run out of runway, and it's no longer in our hands. Which is especially after the weekend, after doing Wrexham in the way we did, you kind of think, we just need another couple of games, and we could be where you are.
So, I like the way you said Wrexham by accident then, but you meant Wickham. You got Wrexham on the brain.
Yeah, we've done Wickham.
How
Wrexham
did
next.
you do, Wickham? Because we went there. It was a very tough game. I could see that they were quite a functional side, but I wasn't blown away by them. And I kept saying, but you absolutely dismantled them.
It's a strange one because it started off quite frenetically, and I thought they looked quite menacing. Not that penetrative, but they were big and physical, and they were in our face. So were we. I think getting that first goal was crucial, and then getting the second one was good as well. But then they gifted us a third because it was 2-0 at half time. And that is, although it sounds silly to say, it can be a precarious scoreline.
It's a dangerous scoreline, 2-0.
You know, so I was still a nervous wreck, even being 2-0 up, which, as my mate Steve said, you big nana. But I was, because they get an early one, and it's, you know what it's like. Football fans know what that's like. You were cruising, and now they've got their tails up. Anyway, that didn't happen. They gifted us a third, and then straight after that, we got a fourth. Game over. So it was one of those games, where you take all your chances and you get a bit of luck. That's not to take anything away from Charlton because they didn't give them an inch. They played really, really well. It was a textbook away performance. So yeah, that's what you should have done.
So you had a lad sent off at the end. Chuck's Nike, is that how you say his name?
Yeah, it is. It's a strange one. For you? Sorry,
is that a blow? Because I want it to be a real big blow.
It's not a huge blow, but it is a blow definitely because Chuck's, bless him, he's coming to the end of his career now, and he's very, very injury prone. So we have to manage him very, very carefully. So he never starts. He'll come off the bench, but he's usually effective because he's a big old unit. He disrupts. He can come off the bench if you need a goal, and he can come off the bench to kind of help manage out a game if you're 1-0 up. So he's useful. He's definitely an asset. So it's a minor blow, and we're annoyed that he got involved in those AMPAGs. Really, we don't really know what he was thinking. But at the same time, if you look at it back, it's probably not a red card. It was 6 of one, half a dozen the other. I don't know whether we'll appeal it or not, but we won't appeal it in time for Saturday. I wouldn't have thought. I don't know how to these things.
Sorry, Gavin. I watched the extended highlights, and I thought you looked a bit like us. You're quite direct, quite dangerous from crosses. Yeah. Is that sort of that's not a criticism at all, by the way, because it's absolutely the way we play. But you look a physically imposing team as well. I know you mentioned Wickham are quite big, but you guys look like you're up for it.
Absolutely, yeah. We're no mugs in that area. We're quite physical. We mix it. But it's interesting you make the comparison with yourself because Andy suggested when you played us at the Valley, we didn't look like much. But I must admit, I've thought that about Wrexham, and that's not. But you keep winning. You keep winning, and I've never thought, bloody hell, Wrexham look amazing. And similarly, teams will have said that about Charlton, but we do somehow keep getting results and keep grinding them out. So, yeah.
Well, Andy reckons it's going to be I'm not sure if you watched the game where we played Notts County 2 seasons ago in that sort of 6-pointer. And it was, what was the final score? Was it 3-2?
Yeah, 3-2. Foster saved the penalty.
Foster saved penalty. Andy thinks the game will be like that on Saturday. It'll be that big. I mean, are you going, Gavin?
I'm not going. They're sold out. I couldn't get a ticket. But I think, I don't know what you think about this, but I think the pressure's on you guys. It's a bit of a free hit for us because we're, guaranteed playoffs. Even if we win, it probably won't matter. So I think we can go. There's not the pressure on us, but you might be thinking, "Oh God, what if we mess it up?" Do you know what I mean?
I'm not having it. It's all the pressure's on you because at the end of the day, you have to win to get promoted, to get in the automatic. So it's all on you. You're the favourites in many ways.
I don't know. I think psychologically, there's a case for both.
Yes, there is.
Because I feel like we're not expected to be going up in second, and even if we win both games, we probably still won't.
It would be hell of a turn up, wouldn't it, if you snuck in?
It'd be incredible, absolutely incredible. But I can't see you, even if we beat you, I can't see you not beating Lincoln. Although mind games and all that, if we did beat you, you'd be then thinking, "Oh God." And Lincoln, I don't know. You'll either get a reaction from Wickham. You'll either get a reaction from Wickham after losing to us, or they'll be panicking. So I don't know. It could go to mind games.
There's so much on it. I mean, obviously Leighton Orient go to host Wickham, and Leighton Orient need to win to stay ahead of Reading for that sixth place. So, and to be honest, Leighton Orient were probably the best team that we faced this season. They came to the racecourse. And they were brilliant. They were really good.
Right.
So yeah, I don't know. I'm hedging all my bets on us being mentality monsters at this stage of the season, and that was proven by yesterday. So I'm kind of going with that as my hanging my hat on, I suppose. I don't know. Go on, Liam. Sorry.
No, I was going to say we hated all the players last Friday, so we've changed actually drastically.
Especially Andy. Andy hates James McLean.
Yeah, never stops talking about it. I was just going to ask you, Gavin, who are the main sort of danger men we should look out for from Charlton's perspective?
Well, Matty Godden's on fire. He's approaching 20 goals this season, which is exactly the sort of replacement for Alfie May we wanted. Tyrese Campbell. Tyrese Tupac Shakur Campbell, to give him his full name.
Is that his actual name? It is,
yes,
isn't it?
No way. I thought you were joking.
No. I remember seeing it, yeah.
That's his name. And our we've got a midfielder called
west side wing or the east side wing. West side, isn't it?
Yeah,
sorry.
That's a great joke, Andy.
Oh God, I
really
don't know
good.
where I was going with that. I was trying to come up with something. I'm just going to retire.
It was if you don't shoot, you don't score, Andy. Do you? You got to have a go. But that was from range and speculative. And we've also got a midfielder. His middle name's Zidane.
Bloody hell.
Roy Anderson's middle name is Zidane, which is I wouldn't read too much into that.
Andy, what have
Anderson.
you got? Andy, what have you got for us, mate? Zidane.
Oh no, I'm still reeling from that. I can't. I just like Roy Zidane.
Roy.
It's like you've gone, right, we're going really sort of into
No,
it.
it's Caroy. It's Caroy. It's Caroy.
Caroy. Okay.
All right.
Caroy Zidane. Anyway, Tupac, Tyrese Campbell has really come of age this season. He was quite slight. He was quite lightweight last season. Had a nice touch, had a bit of promise, but lots of fans had kind of said, "Oh no, he's not good enough." You know, he's come through the academy, but in the close season, he's really bulked out. Nathan Jones is playing him more as a striker out wide, and he creates a lot and he causes havoc for fullbacks. So I would say, TC, Godden. But I mean, our biggest asset, I would say, this season has been the back line, really.
Yeah. I mean, I take it that fans are fully on board with Nathan Jones now after the recent run of form. I've seen him he gets quite into it on the touchline, doesn't he?
Yeah. Oh, he's a nutcase, but we love him. Yeah. He, like I did, he cites the Crawley game when they were booed off and criticised, and I think he says that's his fuel, that he reminds fans that I think fans are a little bit fed up of him going on about it, but just take the win, Nathan. Just leave it. But yeah, no. I mean, football fans. As long as the manager's winning games, he's going to be in the good books, isn't he?
Right, Gavin. We've gone on about strengths. What about weaknesses? Well, where can we really get at you?
I'm not telling you that, am I?
Oh, what? Say what?
Weaknesses.
That Tupac Shakur joke definitely deserves some sort of revealing insight into the weaknesses. Come on now.
I would say we've been guilty at times of not creating enough. You know, I mean, the weekend was a bit of an anomaly because everything we hit went in. But I would say we're not, apart from Northampton away when we won 5-0, we've not been spanking teams. We've not been free scoring. It's usually by the odd goal. Having said that, if we do get our noses in front, I back us to hang on to it. But that would be my weakness. Is we don't create enough, and we don't score loads. That would be my weakness.
I think our weakness is we're almost too good defensively. So you just
we care too much as well
about
each other.
Yeah.
Right.
You'd never guess
Well,
we
I'll
won an
take
award.
that back to the camp. I'll take that back to the training ground. What did you get, Gav? Well, they care too much about each other. That's their Achilles heel. That's where to get them.
And also, Jay Rodriguez, you need to watch him, and I'd maybe triple mark him.
Yeah.
I see what you're doing there.
100%. Great second touch.
Any last questions before we do the dreaded predictions?
Well, should we do the scores?
Yes, let's. You can give us a one sentence description of how you see the game going as well, if you like. Tim, why don't I start with you first? How do you see the game going, and what will the final score be?
I think it'll be crazy. It'll be end to end. I think it's going to be mad, and I think it'll be 3-2 to us.
Andy?
3-1 or 3-2? No, I'm going to go 3-1. I'm going to go 3-1. Fuck it, 3-1.
Okay, Andy.
I think there's two outcomes here. If Wickham don't win, I think we'll go all at it, and I think we'll be more comfortable, and I can see a nervy 2-1 victory. If Wickham get the win that they need, it becomes a hell of a lot more nervy for us, and I think it's a draw then, and I think it's one each.
Liam, what about you?
You're going to have to start letting me go first because he takes my prediction every damn week. I was going to go for 1-1 as well. Go to the last day and it'll be horrible. But I'll stick with it, even though I hate having the same prediction as someone else.
All right, I'll leave the last word to Gavin. So I will say that it will be a fiery affair. Both teams will be up for it and we'll go for it. There might be a red or two. There'll be a few early yellows. Parky and Nathan Jones are going to square up to each other on the sidelines. It's going to be class. It's going to end 2-2. And I don't know what Wickham are going to do. So it could go all down. I think it will go down to the last game. Gavin, what about you?
Well, I think you're right. I think it'll be a fiery affair. I think it'll be tenacious. I think it'll start 100 miles an hour. I think Nathan Jones will get us up for it. I think we'll get an early goal, and then you'll throw the kitchen sink at us, and then we'll get a second on the break and win 2-0.
Oh!
I mean, I don't know. But I had to say something. I mean,
I enjoyed the narrative of it. I think what we all agree on, gentlemen, is that it will be a good game. So it better be a good game now.
Football's the real winner.
Football will be the real winner. And if you are travelling up from Charlton, please enjoy responsibly and have a wonderful time. Thank you, everyone, for watching and listening. It's going to be a massive week in the League One promotion race. So we're looking forward to doing the debrief next week, where who knows, we may be celebrating promotion. Thanks for listening. Goodbye.
Cheers, guys.
Remember what Andy says, it doesn't matter. Get behind him.
Yeah, absolutely. Doesn't matter. Clip that one up. Not the joke about that winger, because that was terrible.